Good day! Executive checkups are often seen as the gold standard of preventive healthcare, especially for busy professionals who want peace of mind. But what do these checkups really tell us about how our bodies are functioning? And do normal results always mean we're truly healthy? Before we get into today's conversation, grab yes of course, your cup of coffee and join us on Freshly Brewed, where compelling conversations brew between fascinating guests and BusinessMirror's journalist host. In this episode, we take a closer look at executive checkups, what they're designed to do, what they may miss, and why understanding your biology could matter more than just simply being told everything is normal. We'll talk about early signs of dysfunction, long-term health, and how a more informed approach can help people take better control of their well-being. Let's listen in to today's conversation between Dr. Rolando Oye Balburias, Medical Director of Rhodium Regenerative Institute, and our very own Anne Ruth de la Cruz, BusinessMirror's Health and Fitness Editor.
Good day, everyone. This is Anne Ruth de la Cruz, BusinessMirror's Health and Fitness Editor, and I am your host for this episode of Freshly Brewed. As part of their New Year's resolution, many people decide to undergo executive checkups. Executive checkups are seen as the golden standard of preventive health, especially among busy professionals and executives. But what do these checkups really tell us about how our body is functioning? But before that, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and like and follow our Facebook page. To break down what executive checkups are designed to do, what they miss, and why understanding your biology may be more important than simply being told you're normal, let's all welcome Dr. Rolando Oye Balburias, Medical Director of the Rhodium Regenerative Institute. Good day, Doc, and thank you for being with us today.
Good day, Anne. Good morning, and good morning to all the viewers of Freshly Brewed.
Okay. Doc, I'm sure that our viewers are interested to find out more about our topic. So what are executive checkups? Because they're often marketed as comprehensive and preventive. So what are they actually designed to do?
Okay. Well, they're designed to detect diseases.
Okay.
No? But we have to understand that many diseases, especially chronic diseases, especially if it's lifestyle related, they develop before they are detected.
Okay.
So oftentimes, no matter how high-tech a machine is in imaging an organ, but we're not measuring how that organs are functioning, no? Then you may not be able to detect any abnormalities or damage, but there could be dysfunction already present, and hence you are declared to have a normal results. But having a normal results in the so many organ-based tests, no matter how comprehensive they are, does not mean to say that you are optimally healthy. It only means that you are not yet sick. No. But having no diseases, having no symptoms, having no abnormal lab results does not indicate that you are healthy or is not equitable to being optimally healthy. So absence of disease, absence of any diagnosis or symptoms, it doesn't mean any, it only means that you're not yet sick. No? But there's a different way to measure your health and level of wellness.
Okay. So why are these checkup packages built this way in the hospitals in the first place?
Well, there were really advances, a lot of advances in medical technologies. Is the goal is to detect diseases, but there are also advances in biomarkers to measure functions and efficiencies of the systems behind those organs. You know, each and every organ have different physiological function. No? So, and once there's physiological dysfunction, it will take some time before diseases or damage or pathology will happen. Why? Because the body has its own ability to sustain its balance or its resiliency. So originally, that's the goal of executive checkup, to be able to detect whether as early as possible the presence of a disease or a damaged organ. But
Okay.
we say that early detection is not prevention, because
Oh,
it doesn't
okay.
matter if your cancer is stage 1, stage 2, no? It's still cancer, right? So, but there are mechanisms right now in advances in medicine. We already know all the hallmarks as to why we develop cancer cells. No? So if you're able to manage those mechanisms and influence those mechanisms, then
Okay.
that is where prevention happens.
Okay. So when are executive checkups absolutely necessary and valuable?
Well, it's okay to do that. There's nothing wrong with it, especially if indeed you are having many symptoms, or if your family tree or your genes really predisposes you to certain conditions or diseases. All we're saying is that if these are will show normal results,
Okay.
it's not a guarantee, and you should not
Okay.
be it's not enough
Okay.
to just accept the results, but still look into the different risk factors
Okay.
that will contribute to as to why you will develop those diseases. So why that those genes that predisposes you to develop certain diseases will be turned on.
Okay.
So because we're not doomed by our genes. So even if you have a strong predisposition, for example, to develop chronic diseases like diabetes, for example, or heart disease or cancer,
Okay.
because it happens to your parents. But genes are like switches. You still need to turn it on. And what turns on a harmful gene,
Yes.
what turns off a beneficial gene, what turns on a good gene and turns off a harmful gene is depending on what we call exposomes. So exposomes are your exposures, your day-to-day exposure through your nutrition, through your sleep quality, your stress level. So those are the ones that would can contribute to activating or turning on a harmful gene. So that means to say, it's like the gene is like the bullet of the gun.
Okay.
So a gun, even if it has a bullet, but you don't pull the trigger, the gun will not blow, right?
Yes,
so,
yes.
So the trigger is the exposome, your lifestyle.
Okay.
So as I mentioned, diseases develops before they are detected.
Okay. As you mentioned, so most people pass their executive checkups, but still don't know how their body is functioning. Why is that so?
Oftentimes, executive checkups, when they are interpreted as a result,
Yes.
they are interpreted as a single result. Right?
Yes,
They are looked at, okay, for this year, your value is normal. No, it's not abnormal. It's not elevated. No, but it should be interpreted based on the patterns that we see
Okay.
on those biomarkers or blood tests or blood chemistry tests that are being done on you. For example, if your fasting blood sugar
Okay.
will be measured today, this year, and it shows that your level is 99 milligrams per deciliter. Okay. To the perspective of a doctor who's an expert in disease management called diabetes,
Yes.
they would say, okay, there's nothing wrong. Your fasting blood sugar is normal. Okay. But when you look at the series of your fasting blood sugar through the years,
Okay.
let's say you had your fasting blood sugar done last year, your fasting blood sugar was measured to be 80 milligrams per deciliter. So that's a very optimal level. So from 80 jumping to 99 milligrams per deciliter, something happened.
Yeah, it's
through
quite
that.
significant.
So
no?
it's quite significant. And that means to say, something happened that affected the efficiency as to how your body metabolizes glucose. Because
Okay.
from a very optimal level to a suboptimally high level, then that has to be managed in
Yeah.
order for it not to progress until such time that you are now diagnosed to have diabetes.
Okay. So with that, is that how you would explain the difference between normal ranges and individual biology?
Yes. So when it comes to our health,
Yes.
and we don't use the term normal
Yes.
or abnormal or high or low. No? We use what is optimal.
Optimal.
Because when you talk about optimal, it speaks about efficiency of the system.
Okay.
Of the system as to how the body functions. No? Because even though our body is made up of organs, yes, but the body functions as one interconnected, interrelated, integrated biological systems.
Okay.
No? So that's why I often compared our body to a car, right? So a car has different body parts.
Yes.
But why does the car run? It's because of its system. No?
Okay.
But the system of the car, for it to function, it needs a lot of equally important substrates.
Okay.
Like gasoline, oil, battery, electricity, the air of the tires. Everything is equally important, right? So the same thing with our body.
Okay.
No? Our body needs a lot of metabolic substrates for
Okay.
it to function efficiently and optimally. So what are these substrates? Like micronutrients, like vitamins,
Yeah.
minerals, fatty acids, amino acids. No? Those are micronutrients and macronutrients.
Okay.
So we need them. All of them are equally important. No? But there's a big difference between the body, the system of the car versus our body system.
Yeah.
Our body system, it's an adaptive biological system.
Okay.
So even though you're lacking certain nutrients, like certain vitamins, certain minerals, no, the body will try to compensate and maintain homeostasis or balance as much as it can.
Okay.
No? Unlike the car, if one of the substrates are depleted, like you forgot to replenish the water in the radiator,
Yes.
the car will just suddenly break down.
Yep.
So it's not a perfect system. But our body as a system, we have an amazing creator. So it was designed to have a lot of reparative mechanisms
Okay.
to restore itself.
Okay.
So that's why once a disease is detected,
Yes.
it's already too late.
Yeah,
It's
that's
too
right.
late already.
Why is that, Doc? Why do these symptoms often appear late
Okay.
of these diseases? Yeah,
Okay.
like cancer, as you mentioned earlier, you might already have the disease, but it only came out later on na.
Actually, symptoms are not always indicator of diseases.
Okay.
Symptoms are oftentimes indicators of imbalances of the system. Okay, so but oftentimes when a test is done to be able to understand that particular symptom or those particular symptoms, and nothing is detected, everything is normal.
Okay.
So, like for example, if you have chronic headache,
Yeah.
so thinking like an organ-based perspective, I will think of if you have a chronic headache, especially if to the point that you have to take pain relievers just to relieve your headache, then if you go to a neurologist, for example,
Okay.
an organ-based test will be done, like an MRI, a CT scan, no? And they see nothing wrong. There's no tumor, there's no
Yeah.
aneurysm, there's no anything to explain a pathology for that will explain that particular symptom. Because headache as a symptom
Yes.
could be an indicator that your body system is lacking a lot of biochemical substrates.
Okay.
Particularly, for example, like migraine headache. Migraine is actually a condition that indicates you have a lot of deficiencies of magnesium, fatty acids. It could also be a deficiency of zinc. It could also be due to a deficiency of certain amino acids.
Okay.
So if you're not aware of this and you're just simply going to address the symptoms, suppress it,
Yeah.
then you're hiding the problem. And later on, those deficiencies of those substrates is when it will lead to a detection of a diseases. No?
Okay.
So just
okay.
like what I said a while ago,
Yes.
diseases develops before they are detected.
Yun. Okay. So what's the danger of being told that you're all clear when something may already be off?
Okay. The danger there is that if your results or your tests done on you are disconnected from those exposomes that we mentioned, if nobody is looking into your nutrition, your day-to-day nutrition,
Okay.
your day-to-day duration of sleep, quality of sleep, pattern of sleep, your day-to-day stressors, no? Especially if you have chronic stressors. Because when you're chronically stressed,
Yes.
the body's requirement for those substrates that I mentioned a while ago are also higher. And if we're not able to provide that because your nutrition is also compromised,
Yes.
like most executives are like that. They have busy lifestyle, right? So oftentimes they even forget to eat,
Yes,
right?
that's right.
So that those things would create responses from your body.
Okay.
It will create biological responses just so you will be able to maintain your resiliency. Okay? But through time, of course, as we age, it will then lead to development of certain diseases.
Okay. So how does this false sense of reassurance delay action, especially for high performers?
Well, it could lead a person to manage those symptoms symptomatically
Okay.
by taking symptomatic drugs for specific symptoms.
Okay.
At the same time, it could also impact on their quality of work. No? So oftentimes, this is where it will lead to either tardiness or it will lead to frequent absences because they really cannot work. Remember, no matter how dedicated you are to your work, no matter how passionate you are, once your health breaks down or gives up, even if you want to, you cannot, right?
Okay.
So those are the consequences.
Okay. So you also mentioned about understanding your biology. What does that actually mean in simple terms?
There are when it comes to our health systems, there are 7 different health systems as to how our body functions.
Okay.
And each and every individual have unique needs and unique requirements for the substrates that those systems needs. No?
Okay.
Because iba-iba ang preferences natin. We have different eating habits. We have different eating choices. No? We have different genetic makeup.
Okay.
No? So it's important to measure and understand the current levels of the substrates that your body needs so that you will be able to provide it.
Okay.
No? So you don't just follow one's diet because it works for him, good for him, because maybe that is what his system needs. No? But for you, like a lot of people go into ketogenic diet. No?
Yes.
But that is not applicable to everyone. You have to determine what are, I call it meal formula. Meaning
Okay.
to say, what are the specific requirement for different macronutrients that your body needs, because we also have different body composition, right? So some people have low muscle mass. So that means to say they will require higher protein intake.
Okay.
No? So some people have difficulty losing fat.
Yes.
No? So because of their metabolism, metabolism is affected by hormones. So it's when it comes to your health or personal biology, everything has to be personalized.
Yes.
And everything has to be precise. No? Hence, you need to measure.
Okay.
You need not to guess. You have to test. No? Because if you don't know, then you will not be able to provide the unique requirements of your body.
Okay. So how is this different from traditional disease-focused medicine?
Okay. Well, traditional medicine, as I mentioned, applies organ-based perspective.
Okay.
No? Each doctor is an expert doctor for each organ and their diseases. Okay? But here, we look into your biology, your cellular health. Because remember, every organ are made up of cells.
Okay.
Right? So if your cells are healthy, then the organs will be healthy as well. No? So when it comes to a conventional medicine, traditional medicine,
yes.
which the expertise and focus is on managing diseases, okay? Hence, they really apply a lot of the science of pathology, okay? Because the goal is to detect disease
Yes.
or damage to the organs.
Yes.
But when you want to optimize your health, we need to use the science of physiology,
Science of
function,
actually.
no? Because and the body functions as a system, interconnected, interrelated, integrated, 7 systems.
Okay.
So instead of pathology, let's look into the physiological functions of your body. Okay, and for treatment, conventional medicine are really great when it comes to utilizing pharmacology.
Yes.
Okay, drugs. Okay,
drugs.
there are drugs for managing different diseases. No? But in managing and optimizing your health, you don't rely on pharmacology. You
Okay.
rely on biochemistry of food. No? So because foods are not just for energy. There's a lot of properties of food
Okay.
that can help support and optimize
Okay.
and make it more efficient how the body functions. No? So biochemistry versus pharmacology. No? So that's why in this approach,
Okay.
when it comes to approaching your health, managing your health, I use food as medicine,
Food as medicine, okay.
your kitchen as your pharmacy, Pharmacy.
Okay.
So that's why we also have a part of our team is not just a nutritionist dietitian, we have a culinary medicine chef as part of our team.
So there's
So,
such a thing.
Yes,
Okay.
we design customized recipes.
Oh,
So
okay.
we provide what we call, instead of a prescription, we call it fresh prescriptions. So we provide you fresh list of foods
Oh, wow.
that contains all the nutrients that your body needs. No? So based on what your body needs.
Okay.
So, and of course, using your kitchen as your pharmacy, your food as your medicine, we also teach you how to make your lifestyle as your very own personal doctor.
Oh, wow.
No? So by
Okay.
looking into your sleep, your stress level, your environmental exposure.
Okay.
No? So those are not managed. No? So,
That's
but
true.
those are the reasons why we get sick. No? Why we're going to
okay.
get sick, especially chronic lifestyle-related diseases.
Okay. So who should consider going beyond a standard executive checkup?
Anyone, no? So because when it comes to your health,
Okay.
it doesn't mean that you are young,
Okay.
you're resilient, that you are optimally healthy.
Uh-huh.
It will come to a point later on that the body's ability to compensate and to
Okay.
sustain your resiliency, that's limited. It's not going to be forever.
Okay.
In fact, there are certain period in our life and that
Okay.
that whether we like it or not, changes will happen to our body.
Yes.
Like you will recall the
Yes.
period wherein you transition from your perimenopause to menopause, right? So that's a time period. Like adolescent period is a
Yes.
time period
Another
also
one.
wherein changes in our body happens.
Okay.
Ganun din when we reach the age of 35 to 40, that's a biological transition.
Okay.
Things will happen to our body whether we like it or not.
Yeah.
No? So that's why you will feel differences.
Yes.
And that's what they call biological aging. No?
Okay.
So because it's different when you talk about chronological aging. So you may be like
okay.
me, how old are you, Anne, if you don't mind me asking?
57.
57. So I'm 54. No?
Yes.
So maybe you're 57, I'm 54, but what is our biological age? That is
Yes.
our chronological age. No? So some patients that I see, they may be 70 years old, but when I measure their biomarkers,
Yes.
they're actually biologically younger than their chronological age.
Okay.
And opposite, some, they're only in their 30s, 40s, but their biological age are much, much older than their
Okay.
chronological age.
Okay. So if someone has decided to go beyond the executive checkup, what will this entail? Does this entail entering a program, or what sort of test should be undertaken to be considered going through this beyond the standard executive checkup?
First, we would need to gather a lot of information about the person.
Okay.
So about the person's nutrition, lifestyle, sleep, exercise, medical history, genetics, all those things.
Okay.
And from there, we will determine the different imbalances that likely, or sometimes it may even involve reviewing all your previous laboratory tests done by so many doctors. Like if you've had, if you have had series of executive checkups, we sometimes review all of those results.
Wow.
But we're going to look at it from a different lens or different perspective, because we're not looking for diseases. We're looking for efficiencies. We're looking for certain patterns in those results. And from there, we will then recommend what are the advanced biomarkers or functional diagnostics that will help us determine whether those findings there, those inefficiencies or there are certain patterns, what it will lead into. No? So that's what we call predictive health. No? So we can predict what likely conditions or likely diseases if we know so much about your medical history. No? So especially if you have a genetic predisposition, how likelihood that genetic predisposition to develop certain disease will develop in you. So we can do that, and then from there we measure. We recommend functional tests or functional diagnostics. It could mean measuring your nutrient levels, measuring your hormone levels, measuring your genetic makeup, no? Or measuring your antioxidant capacity, or even sometimes measuring your toxin exposure levels, especially if you have a significant exposure history to certain, let's say, chemicals because of your job, or certain substances, toxic substances because you are a smoker. So we measure heavy metals, those things. And from there, once we know all this information already about your biology, your personal biology, we then design a program as to how we can intervene to correct and reverse and restore the balance of your biological system. So if you're manifesting with hormone dysfunction and imbalances, how do we restore that? What type of exercise you should be having to be able to restore the balance of your hormones? How do we improve your sleep quality or your sleep depthness in order for your body to be able to form those hormones? No? So it's very personalized. That's why I don't. When it comes to managing your health, we really don't do we don't do the approach of consultation, prescription, and follow-up approach. What we do, if you want to manage your health, if you want to extend your health span and achieve both longevity with vitality, let's design a program, a health program that will restore the balance of your biological systems before diseases are detected.
Are these services covered by insurance, or do we have to prepare a certain amount for this?
Some of it, there are insurance depending on the coverage of the company towards the HMO. So a lot of HMOs also already now include wellness, health and wellness, no? Because they're also aware of it. Of course, it saves much. It also saves not just about the money, but also the quality of life of their members. They also include and cover for most of these tests already. Sometimes you just have to justify to them why these tests are being done for the patients. No? But it's not yet an automatic thing. But in other countries, it's actually part of there are already insurance designed this way. The focus is more on, as I mentioned, how do we help a person extend their health span? Because like in our country, and unfortunately, in Asia, we have one of the shortest health span as compared to other Asian countries, most especially Southeast Asian countries. In other countries, their health span is not just lifespan.
Yeah.
Their health span is reaching in their 70, 75.
Okay.
No? In our country, I don't know about the data, but previous data, our health span, average health span for Filipinos, 62 years old.
Okay.
Meaning to say, what does that mean? After you retire, then
Yeah.
the last 2 years of
That's
your
right.
life, you waste it and spend it dealing with chronic diseases. Because health span means you don't have any disease yet.
Yeah,
So
that's
it's
right.
different from lifespan. It's just the length of your life.
Yes.
Okay. But health span is the number of years as to how long that you've lived quality of life,
Okay.
that you don't have any diseases, chronic diseases, none. So that's health span. Unfortunately, ours, as I mentioned, is
Oh, wow.
62
That's
years.
Okay. If our viewers remember just one thing from our conversation, what should it be?
Okay. Diseases develops before they are detected.
Okay.
And diseases can be prevented.
Okay.
No? You just have to manage your health.
Okay.
And managing diseases is different from managing your health.
Okay. So if our viewers want to undergo a more comprehensive executive checkup, how can they contact you, Doc?
Oh, they can Google the website of Rhodium Regenerative Institute and
Okay.
Health Span Center.
Okay.
And you can undergo what they call a functional health span check.
Okay.
So that will measure, as I mentioned, those things that will tell us how healthy are your cells.
Okay.
And which includes also gene testing. It includes measuring your nutrient levels, your hormone levels, your antioxidant levels, and even, if indicated, measuring toxin levels or heavy metal levels. So
Okay.
so that we can help you, as I mentioned, extend your health span beyond the usual cookie cutter executive checkup.
Okay. So with that, we would like to thank Doc Oyi for taking the time out to talk about executive checkups and what else needs to be done in order to get the real state of your health. This has been Ann Ruth de la Cruz, Business Mirror's Health and Fitness Editor, and we'll see you next time.
And that wraps up today's episode of Freshly Brewed. Thank you for joining us, and we hope this conversation helped shed light on what executive checkups can and cannot tell us about your health. As always, staying informed is the first step toward making smarter choices. Stay curious, stay proactive, and take the time to understand your body a little better. For more stories and insights, visit businessmirror.com.ph and follow us on our social media channels. Stay ahead, know more, and we'll see you next time.